I'm Fiona Burnett from SRUC and welcome to our last crop update for the 2022 season. Always useful to think back over the season and, for the harvest we've just had, we had crops that went in the previous autumn in nice conditions, had good potential right from the beginning, and then that very dry spring which really dried up a lot of our pest and disease pressure. So we had a relatively easy season. It turned wet in the summer, but not so wet that we had issues with quality or with yield. So a relatively benign season behind us. And really we're going into this season in a very similar position. So our winter crops, we're in oilseed rape at the moment, nicely established in good conditions, and just going into the winter now with good potential. We've had a few issues with slugs in wheat, particularly after oilseed rape. So just a few winter jobs to think about. We're in oilseed rape, so soil sampling for clubroot can be important. Soil sampling for your potato crops for next season can help with your future planning for PCN. For clubroot and oilseed rape, we know that a warm autumn is one of the risk factors, so do investigate any patches of poor emergence. And also think about flooding, so that sort of increased risk of flooding over the winter that we're getting is beginning to spread clubroot into surrounding fields, so check for that. And yeah, maybe for the winter jobs as well, updating your integrated pest management plans, which should be done annually. So that'll let you plan for risks going into the 23 season and begin to think about preventative things you could do for spring barley and other spring crops. In terms of our winter cereals, they've obviously come through really well, been established in good conditions, but we do have quite a lot of early drilled crops, so potentially a bit of overwintering disease pressure. At the moment, reports are still fairly low. A little bit of mildew on winter barleys is really all that we've had reported. A little bit of slug grazing where winter wheats have followed oilseed rape. In terms of treatments though, it's seldom worth treating in the autumn, so despite the very warm autumn we would still hope for some frost over the winter which will dry up any overwintering mildew, for example. We don't have any reports of yellow rust yet in winter wheat, so that's a positive as well. Very few aphids as well, but worth keeping an eye out for those. So yeah, just keep monitoring them over the winter. Don't think about autumn sprays and just hope that the winter does bring a bit of frost that will dry up any of that overwintering disease.